You ever heard a child say something innocent that made your blood run cold? I've been driving a taxi in Miami for 12 years, and I thought I'd heard everything. Kids telling me about their goldfish funerals, their parents' divorce drama, their weird uncles who smell like cheese. But last Thursday afternoon, a 7-year-old boy with a Spider-Man backpack and a cherry lollipop said something that made me grip the steering wheel so hard my knuckles went white. I picked them up outside a convenience store on the edge of town around 3 p.m. The boy was all energy and sticky fingers from his lollipop, practically bouncing as he climbed in. His father followed him in, looking tired but forcing a smile. "Airport, please," the father said, tossing a duffel bag beside him. "First time flying?" I asked, catching the boy's eyes in my rearview mirror. "No," he said proudly, taking a big lick of his lollipop. "But it's my first time flying without mommy." That's when I noticed the father shift uncomfortably, suddenly very interested in his phone. "Oh yeah? Where's mommy today?" I asked, just making conversation as we merged onto the highway. The boy took another lick of his lollipop. "We left her at the beach." He said it so cheerfully, like it was the most normal thing in the world. I laughed, thinking they'd dropped her off for a spa day or something. "That's nice. Is she getting some relaxation time?" The father cleared his throat loudly, but the kid kept talking. "No, she was being really annoying to Daddy. She kept crying and saying we can't go without her, but Daddy said she was ruining everything." My hands tensed on the wheel. Something felt off. "At the beach, huh? Which beach?" I asked, keeping my voice casual. "The old one with all the broken wood. Daddy had to carry her there because she didn't want to walk. She kept trying to grab me, but Daddy said we had to hurry." The father finally looked up. "Kids, right? Such imaginations. We were just playing a game." But his laugh was forced, and I could see sweat beading on his forehead despite the AC blasting cold. "Mommy wasn't playing," the boy continued, now drawing shapes in the fog his breath made on the window. "She was screaming, but Daddy said the waves were too loud for anyone to hear anyway." The father reached over and ruffled his son's hair too hard. "That's enough, buddy. The nice man doesn't want to hear our silly stories." But the boy, completely oblivious to the mounting tension, added one more detail that made my blood run cold. "Daddy even took her phone and threw it in the water. He said she didn't need it anymore." My mouth went dry. 20 years of driving, you develop instincts about people, and every instinct I had was screaming that something was very, very wrong. I kept my voice steady and friendly. "You know what? I just remembered I need to grab something from the station before the airport. Quick detour, won't charge you extra." The father immediately protested. "No, we're in a hurry. Our flight," but I was already taking the exit toward downtown. "Won't take but a minute, promise." I could see him in my mirror, his jaw clenching, calculating his options. The boy kept licking his lollipop, humming the Spider-Man theme song. The father tried twice more to get me to stop, even offered to pay me double to skip the detour, but I just kept driving, asking the kid about his favorite superheroes to keep things calm. When I pulled into the police station parking lot, the father's face went white as paper. "What are you doing?" he hissed. "I just need to check something with my dispatcher." I lied, already waving to Officer Jones, who I knew from years of late-night coffee runs. "Hey Jones, got a second? These folks were just telling me about their day at the beach." The father grabbed his bag, trying to leave, but Jones was already approaching, and 2 other officers had noticed the commotion. The boy, still working on his lollipop, asked if police officers had candy too. It took them 45 minutes to find the mother. She was still at the beach, the abandoned section past the nature preserve where hurricane damage had never been repaired. She'd been tied to a broken pier post with boat rope, tide coming in, water already up to her chest when they reached her. Hypothermic, dehydrated, terrified, but thankfully, she was alive. Once they interrogated the guy, he spilled that he had planned on cashing in his wife's life insurance policy along with his girlfriend, who was waiting at the airport. The boy didn't understand any of this, of course. To him, it was just another confusing day where Daddy was acting weird and Mommy wouldn't stop crying. The mother and child still visit me every week and bring me free bread from their bakery, along with notes, thanking me for saving her life.